farmer Yao Autonomous County, located in northwest Guangxi, where a population of less than 300,000 has more than 70 centenarians, the highest distribution of centenarians among the 5 towns where people live the longest in the world. The fresh and natural environment, simple and healthy lifestyles, plus the longevity gene of the locals are the secret of old people's long life. A long and healthy life has always been a goal relentlessly pursued by all. A blessing for people. It's their greatest wish. At the beginning of the founding of New China, the average life expectancy of Chinese people was 35 years. By 2019, the average life expectancy had grown to 77.3 years. When we look back at history, it's cold numbers that have verve, because behind these numbers lie the vivid lives, the happiness of countless families, and the inestimable progress of Chinese society.
科学技术引入到医学以后，大大的促进了医学的发展。很多过去我们不知道的病，我们知道了；有些病我们还发现了药品，发现了疫苗，我们发现了各种各样的治疗方法。医学或者健康这个领域，依靠科技发展，跟上了时代的要求和健康的需要，我们才能在践行健康中国伟大战略、呵护人类健康伟大事业中走得更准、走得更远，更主要走得更好。
Life is of primary importance, and a doctor's dedication is everything. Today's world is a new era of constant change and reshaping, with cutting-edge technology and innovative ideas. More than ever, social progress and the improvement of people's livelihoods require science and technology to deliver solutions. A scientific and intelligent solution oriented towards people's life and health. In early spring, the air is still slightly cool. Huang Tao and his wife, Xiao Shue, left the house early. Xiao Shue is 12 weeks pregnant, and today they are going to the county hospital for a prenatal testing. Prenatal testing, in addition to providing conventional data such as fetal development, can also be used to diagnose high-risk fetuses through genetics and imaging tests. Early prevention and early intervention are key to reducing maternal and infant risks and improving people's quality of health. Years of constant promotion in Chinese primary care institutions have resulted in a prenatal testing rate of 95.1%. The couple opted for a non-invasive genetic birth test, a new option that only emerged in recent years. Compared to traditional prenatal testing and diagnostic techniques, non-invasive genetic maternity testing requires no penetration, which reduces the pain for the mother-to-be and, more critically, provides a broader and more accurate screening. Xiao Shue was afraid of blood, but she was still brave enough to have 5 milliliters of blood drawn. This small tube of blood sample carries with it the greatest expectations of mothers-to-be. Genes, which store all the information about the composition, growth, and decline of living things, are the code of life that determines the health of the human body. Since the discovery of genes, scientists have determined that they can help human beings and guide the knowledge of life to a whole new realm.
它意味着你基本上所有的数据都在里面了。这个蛋白质、大分子的数据、基因的数据，现在的这一时刻，你身体里的小分子的，比如说氨基酸、这个维生素、激素，所有的数据都在这血里了。所以这个血液告诉我们所有的东西。
The DNA extracted from the peripheral blood of pregnant women is key to cracking open the code of life of the fetus from which more than 1,000 diseases can be screened simultaneously using the latest genetic technology. A tube of blood may seem simple, but the testing process is extremely complex.
那我们通过基因检测，其实是可以通过你检测你的血液，看到你的血液里边能够有什么样的细菌和病毒存在。当然，这样需要大量的这个测序，因为细菌和病毒也是外来的基因，它入侵到你的身体里，也在你的血液里留下痕迹了。我们检测出来了以后，就能够做准确的诊断和治疗，能够让我们更好地了解自己的身体，了解自己的健康状况。
Xiao Xue and her husband need to wait patiently for the test results. 106-year-old Huang Ma-Tao is the oldest elder in the village. Talking with her for a while makes Xiao Xue feel warm and at ease. The results of Xiao Xue's genetic test arrived. Obviously, this is good news, and good news for the whole family to celebrate. The new life being conceived brings new hope to this ordinary family, and the growing happiness makes them look forward to a new life to come. This building, resembling rice terraces, is the National Gene Bank in Shenzhen. Today, when genes have become an important strategic resource for a country, this place will provide basic support for life science research, medical health, and bio-industrial development.
保存基因，懂得基因，了解基因的结构，决定于当前，也决定于未来的一个人类的生命最重要的一个事情。
Research in the field of genetics is key to the development and competition of precision medicine in the future. This little mouse-headed creature with his unfamiliar name, the tree shrew, is an animal closest to humans in evolutionary terms, apart from primates. The history of modern medical development is a history of the application and discovery of animals used for experiments. The tree shrew still lacks an opportunity to become a star animal used in experiments. This is the world's first genetically modified tree shrew.
非常非常激动啊！现在我们看到也很激动。数据非常有价值，但是我们做研究，我们是需要做一些这基因的修饰，然后才能够很准确的知道这个基因的功能呐。所以这个时候我们就需要做一些这个转基因技术的平台。
Zhongping's team chose a field that had never been attempted before. They spent 4 years to successfully establish an in vitro culture system for tree shrew spermatogonial stem cells, and took the lead in breeding the world's first genetically modified tree shrew, solving the technical issue of the absence of gene manipulation in tree shrew research.
那我们现在已经把细胞打到树枝的睾丸里面了。我看一下，
这次这个细胞注射的非常好。应该说，我们这个体系是建立了一个技术的平台。将来，你不管是在利用数据做任何的这个疾病的这个模型的研究，你需要这个进行基因编辑，那么都可以用我们这套体系来做。所以它是一个就像奠基石一样的作用。
The fundamental purpose of medical research is to explore the pathogenesis of human diseases, to find methods of prevention and treatment. The scientific discovery of Zhongping's team is just a small step in the field of genetic research, or perhaps one of the countless small steps that will eventually lead to a larger breakthrough step.
做科研就是要尝试一些新的一些东西。如果你很多东西你都知道该怎么做了，其实这就不是科学家的一个他应该做的事情。所以我们应该做的事情就是去做，就是很多别人没有做的，就是去做一些创新性比较高的一些东西。
Innovation is the leading driving force behind development, and opportunities always belong to those who are brave enough to innovate. In 2018, the movie Dying to Survive gained widespread popularity, and many Chinese people remember one phrase: targeted medicine.
我没看完，当时我觉得看起来很难受。在没有看那个电影之前，我就知道这个事情。
Zhou Yanru never expected that a routine medical checkup before retirement would reveal that she had lung cancer at an advanced stage.
2014年的11月11号就确诊我是左下肺癌，有一些沮丧。我们爸爸妈妈两个老人都是86岁，我就不想让他们知道我得了病，是我妹妹在那边难过，哎呦，我哭得死去活来的。
In an instant, Zhou Yanru's fate was changed. To cure her disease, she started to take imported, targeted drugs.
当我诊断说有机会吃靶向药的时候，哎呦，我觉得好像获得了重生一样的。
But then came a bigger blow. After taking imported, targeted drugs for a while, the doctor told her that she had to stop and change her medication due to serious side effects.
当出现了严重的不良反应的时候，就必须要换药了，必须要换。不换药又停了药，那意味着她的生命可能就不久了。
Zhou Xiangdong, Zhou Yanru's primary care physician, told Zhou Yanru a story of his own.
他就说他的爸爸是患那个肺癌走的，那个时候他还是个主治医生，他没有这么多的临床经验去关照他父亲的病，他是眼睁睁的看到他父亲不行的，他当时很难受很难受。
所以我就立志就把肺癌药把它作为研究方向，一直在做到今天。
一些朋友啊，一些专家都会为我们担忧，觉得你们在做一件不可思议的事，或者说成功可能性非常小的事，劝我们：哎呀，你们还是做一点仿制药吧，因为觉得那个风险小，是吧？成功可能性会大一点。这个创新的确太难。
The process of new drug development is a long one. From initial screening to laboratory design, validation, and animal model experiments, all these links are essential. 7 years have passed in a flash, in the midst of countless trials and tribulations. Ding Liaming and his new drug finally received the big test, double-blind trials. To everyone's surprise, Ding Liaming wanted to do a double-blind trial against the world's best targeted drug.
什么叫双盲的实验呢？就是大夫不知道，病人也不知道，只有一个这个统计学家他知道，但是呢，他是随机的把这个药啊比较平衡的分到2组里去。
人家是全世界第一个上市的同类的药物，在这个领域就等于是树立了一个标杆。那你能不能和人家齐头，或者说能不能比人家更好？那就是看出你这个药物，你未来你的临床价值。
我作为主持人呢，非常紧张，能不能疗效比他好？这不良反应能比他少，所以心里很忐忑的。
Innovation is often full of risk and uncertainty, but Ding Liaming is determined to follow the path he has chosen to the end. 9 months have passed, and Ding Liaming has waited anxiously for the result of the double-blind trial to be announced.
这个非常有喜剧性的一幕啊！当时我们这个研究伙伴在申研院士的办公室，是吧？一起来等着这个盲滴的揭开。一打开，我们的组疗效按照时间来算，我们是4.6个月，比对照药3.4个月要长34%。安全性 不良反应是比例总的我们是60，对照组70，而且数量少，程度轻，所以大家一看，哎呦，兴奋啊，高兴啊。
这开网以后就证明它是等效的，但是艾克替尼对皮肤、腹泻这2种最主要的不良反应都比吉非替尼少，统计学上有显著差异。
Even a small statistical difference may mean life or death for the patient. Happily, the targeted drug developed by Ding Liaming achieved the same efficacy as the imported targeted drug, while the side effect index was significantly better. This targeted drug, developed by Chinese people themselves, was awarded the National Science and Technology Progress First Prize in 2016.
非常光荣，做了一件为国争光的大事。
The research and development of new drugs is recognized worldwide as a high-technology industry with a lengthy cycle, sizable investment, and high risk. It's common international practice to sell at a reasonable price at a certain stage of research and development. However, Ding Liaming refused a takeover offer from a multinational company.
当时出价是2.5亿美金，那么那是10年的时候，那个时候在中国这可是个天价，那对我们来讲，的确是很大很大个数字，因为那个时候我们欠银行的钱是1.5亿人民币，说实话我们太需要钱了。
Ding Liaming insisted on keeping the pricing power firmly in the hands of Chinese people and set the price of the drug at 60% of similar imported drugs. At the same time, he also formulated a more lenient drug donation policy. Since its approval and launch on August 12, 2011, more than 90,000 eligible lung cancer patients have received free medication at a market cost of more than 10 billion yuan. More than 40 days after stopping her drug, Dr. Zhou Qiangdong recommended this domestically made targeted drug to Zhou Yanru. Zhou Yanru became one of the first in southwest China to take this home-developed drug.
吃的时候我很有意思感的，经常说宝贝凯美拉，我喜欢你，你拯救我来了，好，然后就服下去了，然后觉得哎呀好爽啊，就这样想。
4 months later, when Zhou Yanru went for a review, she finally heard the words she most wanted to hear.
尤其你看这块，这是凸出来了，
对，
而这儿呢就缩回去了。我们再往下看，实际上也很明显，你看这是一大片，而这儿呢就有吸收。那么左下肺的病变也是，肺上控制的还是不错。
This domestically produced targeted drug worked on Zhou Yanru, and the miracle she had been silently praying for really happened.
对于晚期的肿瘤病人，我们要通过我们不断的努力，一代一代的新的抗肿瘤药物的研发，综合治疗方式的不断的合理的应用，让病人实验室得上了一个晚期的肿瘤，也让他能够像高血压、糖尿病一样，成为一种可控的慢性疾病。
Zhou Yanru has been taking this drug for 5 years, and it is her greatest source of happiness to be able to live a normal life again.
第一个5年过去了，我们要争取第2个5年，内心有的是感恩，有这一颗感恩的心，我就觉得有力量走下去，真的。如果说人生是一个故事，我的故事也是很可以的。如果说这个故事要结束的话，我觉得这个故事也是很完美的。
In Beijing, Hochang Village is known as China's Internet Wave Center, a place where young people pursue their dreams in the Internet era. Yang Hua is one of them.
在北京确实节奏也比较快，自己手上的任务也比较重，压力确实挺大的。
Recently, frequent stomach aches made Yang Hua somewhat restless, and his internet research had him rather concerned. In China, stomach cancer is one of the most common forms of malignant tumor, and the reason for the high incidence of stomach cancer is actually related to people's negligence regarding examinations. Yang Hua had to press pause on work.
来，请坐。多长时间了？1个月左右了。这个不舒服的症状主要表现是什么呢？肚子胀，偶尔反酸。
The doctor suggested that Yang Hua have a gastroscopy, which is the preferred method of examination for upper gastrointestinal lesions. However, the vomiting sensations that occur during this procedure are often unbearable for the person under examination. Like many people who fear gastroscopy, Yang Hua recoiled at the idea. This is a magic capsule. It is this magical little fellow that dispelled Yang Hua's worries. Wang Xinhong was an engineer engaged in the development of image communication products. A set of data also made this middle-aged person resolutely choose to change career path.
中国只有不到4万个内镜医生，要服务8000万到1亿人。在中国做这个胃镜检查的时候，它有医疗资源的问题。
This troublesome imbalance between supply and demand in medical resources was the original intention of this R&D team. They developed the world's first magnetically controlled capsule gastroscopy system by integrating high technology across multiple fields. This small capsule took several years of hard work by the research and development team. This 27mm long capsule, 11.8mm in diameter and weighing less than 5 grams, contains hundreds of components and is the result of a combination of medical and industrial science. It is considered a revolutionary innovation in the examination of gastric disease. Yang Hua, who was naturally intrigued by the new technology, decided to give the magnetically controlled capsule a go.
来，张嘴，小心吞咽，别咬啊，放嘴里。
After the magnetically controlled capsule gastroscope enters the esophagus, a 150-degree wide-angle macro lens with millimeter-level precision takes photos. In 15 to 30 minutes, it captures several thousand images of the stomach, which are transmitted wirelessly to be presented clearly on a computer screen in real time. This painless, non-invasive, no anesthesia screening method cannot yet perform the function of electronic gastroscopy in taking biopsies and endoscopic treatment. However, it solves the problem of gastrointestinal examination for patients with cardiology diseases and people with contraindications to gastroscopies, and is a useful supplement to electronic gastroscopy.
满足医生在临床上在胃中获取不同位置、获取不同病变的这样的一个要求，控制精度在毫米量级。 这就是我们说的精准磁控。
According to statistics, a post-surgery survival rate of 5 years is only 20% for middle and late-stage gastric cancer. If it is detected at an early stage, the survival rate 5 years after surgery can be more than 95%. The small magnetically controlled capsule eliminates people's fear of gastric examinations and of seeking medical treatment. Changes brought about by technological innovation have brought benefits to more people. In early 2020, the COVID-19 epidemic swept the world, catching everyone off guard. Feng Fen is a head nurse of the No. 9 hospital in Xi'an. At the critical moment, Feng Fen volunteered to fight and became a member of the medical team of Shanxi to assist Hubei.
我当时没有告诉父母，我怕他们担心。我们在武汉55天，我瞒了他们54天。
Although Feng Fen and her teammates had prepared for all aspects of the trip before they left, a small problem became a big problem.
护目镜布满水珠、水雾， 然后我们要去看，要去观察，要去操作呀，就通过这种水雾的一个缝隙去看。然后我们戴手套都是3层手套，去给病人扎针的时候，手上的感觉是完全下降的。有一个队友，他扎针的时候，那2针没有穿刺上，就是挺着急的。然后我说，哎，那刚好我们不是带的那个新式武器吗？我们拿来试一下呀。1针成功了，大家都觉得很开心。
This new type of equipment, which can identify blood vessels through the skin, comes from Chinese aerospace technology.
这个是红外血管成像仪，它解决的问题就是咱们在静脉注射的时候，有很多人的血管看不到、找不着，用这个东西一看就看得很清楚。
航天呢，拍摄地面中间呢要穿过这个层层的这些云雾，如果不进行图像处理的话，这个信号实际上是会受到很多影响的，跟我们想看到皮下血管有点类似。
This full image of the moon is the clearest and most complete image of the moon published in the world to date. The panoramic camera that took this picture was developed by the Xi'an Institute of Optics and Precision Machinery at the Chinese Academy of Sciences.
如何把图像拍出来是光学技术，如何让图像变得好看，让原来看不到的东西现在能看到，这是算法技术。
Demand is often the driving force behind scientific and technological innovation. The needs of the country and its people are the mission and role of science and technology workers.
孩子打针打了2、3针就打进去，哎呀，这个看得撕心裂肺。护士就说：“你们中科院的做研究的，你就不能做一个什么东西，让我们医生能看到这个血管，这样呢，我们扎针就容易一些。”
Seeing the helplessness and expectations of the nurses, Chu Rei decided to try.
我们是要自主创新的东西，后来我们就发展出来自己独创的一套系统。从我们发明了这个系统之后，全世界其他的后进者都在抄袭我们的系统，这是让我们挺自豪的一件事情。
8 months later, the first generation of projection infrared vascular imaging products was developed successfully. Since then, the new product, which has been continuously iterated and upgraded, can not only clearly see blood vessels under the skin, but also clearly see the position of the needle in them.
可以称为护士之眼了，它减轻护士的一个穿刺的一个压力。再一个就是病人也可以减少痛苦啊。
In China, there are 4.45 million nurses like Feng Fen administering to patients every day. The technology comes straight from the high-tech field of aeronautical science to the hospital ward, solving medical problems and bringing doctors and patients closer together, enhancing the sense of achievement of healthcare workers and making the majority of patients happier. Like Feng Fen, the imaging department of Beijing Haidian Hospital, which was on the front line of the epidemic, was once overwhelmingly busy. The number of patients seen by the hospital's imaging department more than doubled around the Chinese New Year in 2020, leaving the medical team of just 42 people in the imaging department overwhelmed.
一个 CT 扫描呢，从上到下就是覆盖全肺，你的图像呢有300多幅，都看一遍还是需要花一些时间的。你注意力比较集中的情况下的时候，可能大概10分钟、15分钟能完成。但是在状态不好，比如说比较疲劳的状态下，可能这个时间还会延长。
At times like this, Li Dasheng was eager to have an effective piece of equipment.
AI 在医疗这个场景当中，它的核心应用大幅的提升医生的一个工作的效率，让他在有限的时间里边、有限的资源当中，能够去诊断、治疗更多的患者，并且能迅速的去提升他的一个诊断的质量。
The essence of artificial intelligence is that human beings use the intelligence to better serve human beings. Chen Quan has dedicated himself to the development and application of artificial intelligence technology in the field of lung cancer screening. In his opinion, China, with its vast area and huge population, is a fruitful domain for the application of AI technology, itself a unique resource advantage for the development of AI in China.
通过计算机来模拟大量的这种神经网络的结构，像人一样去学习某道题，我做对了，我就去这个奖励； 做错了我就去惩罚他。在这个过程当中，他就越学越智能，越学越熟悉。人工智能学习的一个过程，就跟我们教一个小孩、教一个学生是一模一样的，其实并没有什么太神秘的。
The outbreak of the coronavirus epidemic made Chen Quan keenly aware of the ability of artificial intelligence to influence the world. Beginning with the Spring Festival in 2020, Chen Quan promptly adjusted the research direction of the team by collecting coronavirus pneumonia cases, using artificial intelligence to accumulate and analyze huge amounts of data, and quickly developed a pneumonia intelligent auxiliary screening and epidemic monitoring system with independent intellectual property rights, which was first used online in more than 50 hospitals. The hospital where Li Dasheng works used this system at the first opportunity.
你看这个病人一打开我们之后，就可以显示出来一个红色的这个预警，那么就是说判断这个病人可能是有肺炎。AI 的它没有疲劳，而且呢，它可以持续不断的，就是说很快速度的，比较就是准确的，就是给你一个结果啊，可以大大的缩短我们的影像的诊断时间，那基本上也就在2-3分钟。
你觉得这次上线中最大的挑战是什么呢？
对于那个我们团队的那个心理还是有一定冲击的。饱满，毕竟是疫区嘛。虽然有挑战，但是我们还非常好的。
Everyone's dream. In Beijing, a young girl in a desperate situation prays for good providence and looks forward to a miracle.
其实你原来也没什么症状吧？
就是活动之后可能会心
有点累，是吧？
就是胆红素一直特别高。
胆红素高是另一个问题了。
上班的时候就是感觉有点头晕，我去体检了，确诊了，就是 MDS。
MDS, as Li Shuang said, is myelodysplastic syndrome. In some of these high-risk patients, it will become leukemia. Unfortunately, Li Shuang is already in the pre-leukemia stage. Blood stem cell transplantation, also known as bone marrow transplantation, is one of the effective treatments for leukemia. This is the Chinese bone marrow donor program of the Red Cross Society of China, a platform for leukemia patients to survive. It has more than 2.8 million pieces of blood stem cell information from volunteers, and at the same time shares resources with bone marrow banks in 58 countries and regions globally. But finding a perfect match is like looking for a needle in a haystack, and the probability of an exact match in the general population is only 1 in 100,000. The test results of Li Shuang and her family were half-matched and could not meet the needs of an exact match. But Li Shuang's condition meant she could not afford to wait a long time.
哎呦，当时我这心里边咯噔一下，我肯定我是着急了，真是流了一道眼泪，我这也没敢让他看见，我也没敢跟他说。等到这儿，我就把眼泪擦干了，我得最起码后边得当他的坚强后盾，也不能都全都慌了。
When Li Shuang was diagnosed, she had just been dating her boyfriend for a month. The encouragement from her boyfriend and family, as well as the desire for a future life, made the young Li Shuang never give up. There is always hope. Dr. Huang Shuaojin of Peking University People's Hospital and his colleagues from all around the world share a common desire to realize a blood stem cell transplant donor for everyone. T cells are the key to a successful bone marrow transplant, They are highly aggressive, killing both tumor cells and normal cells in the patient's body. Huang Shaojin's goal is to tame the T cells.
大家都认为这个 T 细胞是关键，所以老外一直在想，很简单的事，我把 T 细胞去除不就行了吗？你把这个 T 细胞去掉，它细胞长不进去，长进去了以后呢，它没有抗肿瘤作用，所以你是减对了抗宿主病，结果病人死掉了。
Huang Shaojin has been researching for more than a decade, hoping to find a way to make T cells good.
我们呢，换了一个方式，就把病人的 T 细胞在做之前进行教育，跟病人的 T 细胞说，你进去以后啊，不要去攻击我们病人的细胞太多，你是来帮他。等到长好了以后，你去打敌人。误伤了一点，我们也认。移植本身的核心问题。
To be the centre with the highest transplant survival rate for patients worldwide, with an overall survival rate of 75 to 89%, which is consistent with that of fully compatible transplants.
人人都有共治，就是半相合。从人群的角度说，它几乎100%能找得到这样的共治。有些特例也不会超过1%、2%，所以我们准确的说法是，北京方案基本实现人人都有移植共治。
August the 26th, 2019. Li Shuang and her family will always remember this day when they were admitted to Peking University People's Hospital, holding on to the last shred of hope for life. And Li Shuang put her life in the hands of Dr. Huang Shaojin.
这个时候可以说是胆红素下降了，我觉得这个病人应该有机会了。
Dr. Huang Shaojin wants to save Li Shuang with the Beijing solution. Li Shuang's sister, who is 6 years younger than her, provided her with bone marrow and peripheral blood stem cells, even though she was only semi-matched with Li Shuang.
害怕的，因为当时还不太了解嘛，然后就觉得可能特别疼、特别痛苦，我也做了很久的心理准备。但是其实做完了发现也还好吧，像做了一场梦一样。
Everything was as unreal as a dream, and yet everything was as clear as a dream. In the sterile chamber, her sister's bone marrow blood was slowly fed into Li Shuang's body.
很多科学问题大道至简，就这个道理。你内层纸一捅破了，它就是很多事很简单。科技改变人生，就是不完全按你定位来的，要靠你做来的。
Li Shuang's life was changed by this procedure.
挺好的，你。
对，挺好的。
啊，当时给你这个做不做还在那里纠结呢，你的胆红素太高。
是。
最后讨论完了以后还是不错的。 啊，你是做什么工作？
我之前是做销售的。
做什么销售？
教育行业，我业绩压力比较大。
业绩明年再考虑，今年不考虑业绩啊。
In China, leukemia accounts for the 9th highest number of deaths due to malignant tumors. Each year, about 15,000 new leukemia patients identified in China are under the age of 18. Huang Shaoqin faces patients' requests for help every day and is entrusted with life and death.
Good morning, everyone. How are you feeling? I feel fine. I don't have any side effects. Yeah. I am very happy and very glad and very proud to be your patient.
I'm proud of you. Thank you very much. 医学，它是在科学基础上的一门艺术，它兼具科学的特性和社会和人文性，要有知识，要有技能，要有创新，更要有责任和担当和人文情怀。只有这样才能会成为大医生。
我觉得如果没有说就是中国半相合技术这么成熟的话，可能对于我们这类患者，真的这个就是一个不治之症了。我移植之后，效果也挺好的，到现在为止我的体温也都特别正常，然后饮食的话也都特别好，基本上挺能吃的。
The Beijing solution provided by China has created hope among leukemia patients around the world. On New Year's Eve 2020, the Shenzhen Symphony Orchestra's New Year's concert was held as scheduled. The fact that cellist Mao Chung-yu was able to attend this performance is a miracle for her, and is even more a miracle of medicine. 4 years ago, Mao Chung-yu, who was studying music at the National University of Singapore, was pushed to her limits by a letter of diagnosis.
我爸爸妈妈甚至是一夜之间白了头，特别的揪心。 因为不知道会发生什么。
The doctors diagnosed that a hemangioma was growing in Mao Chung-yu's brain, located near the music function region of the brain. Not only was her life in danger, but her dream of playing music, which she considers her life, would also be in vain.
非常活泼，也非常阳光灿烂，一定要做好这个手术，让她成功的返回她的舞台。
It was important to remove the hemangioma without damaging the musical functions of the brain. For this reason, Dr. Gu Jianwen developed a surgical plan for a conscious craniotomy. To ensure the precision, reliability, and foolproof nature of the surgery, he was specially equipped with the Remibot developed by Dr. Liu Da's team. This highly complex human and machine combination surgery, the first of its kind in China and extremely rare in the world, was created. The Remibot is the first neurosurgical navigation and positioning system developed in China. In the past, to calculate the location of the patient's brain tumor, the doctor needed an hour, and there was an error margin of 3 millimeters. With the help of Remibot, it can be accurately positioned within 2 minutes, with an error margin of 0.5 millimeters. It can solve problems of high risk using traditional craniotomy and multiple incisions during frame surgery.
医生利用这个3维的影像进行手术的方案的规划，穿刺的路径从哪儿进，进到哪儿，进多深。 这是医生在3维的模型上定制好的。
This scene is both nerve-wracking and awe-inspiring. During the operation, Mao Chung-yu was awakened from anesthesia, and the doctor asked her to sing and keep singing. The doctor asks her to sing constantly.
"在这个功能测试情况下进行手术，来达到它这个功能不要废损。它 它的音乐功能在不断的演示过程中，我们去切除，这个是最精准的。如果要是有影响，他就唱不出来了，节律也会偏了。
Mao Chong-yu is singing Happy Birthday. Her voice is very soft, but her rhythm is sound. The doctor's skill and respect for life, Mao Chung-yu's love of music, and the perfect and precise execution of the surgical robot have together played a symphony in honor of life.
激动，因为我做的手术非常多，能够从手术台上下来以后唱着歌出手术室，我还是头一次。最让人欣慰的就是，这样的一个孩子的艺术生命得到了保留。
结合机神做的非常典型的一台非常完美的手术。
感恩，非常感恩，感谢306医院给了我重新生命的一次机会。我特别感谢咱们祖国有这么强大的、发展这么快的科技。
The expectation and pursuit of a long and healthy life is the highest wish of all human beings. Cutting-edge technology and innovative ideas, like a dose of new sunshine every day, shines into people's lives, making life brighter, warmer, and more secure, and making everyone's life more colorful and full of hope.